Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again. It's a Queen Amadai TV, more than meets the third eye. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at QueenAmadai.Shakur. You can also follow the Queen Amadai Shakur fan page and follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. Okay, everyone, let me know, how is the audio? Is the audio okay? Please say yes. Please say yes. I hope the audio is sounding okay. I had some issues earlier this morning. Okay, Claudette says 1, so that means they're static. You're hearing static? Listen while I'm on the go. Okay. Oh, I'm clear. Okay. When y'all put 1s, I'm like, I thought you were saying yes, they're static. Okay, good. Okay, so let's get through it. I think I figured out what the issue is, so I'm going to have to get that fixed. It could be my cord to the microphone or something like that, so I'm going to have to work on that. Have to order another cord or whatever. So let's get into it, people. I'm so glad you all tuned in. I know that I am late. I was supposed to do this at 1:30, but I have been ripping and running all day working, okay? So let's get into it. I have a PowerPoint for you all. I'm going to share my screen so we can go ahead and get started. All right. I was trying to. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, favorable child. Okay, Silent D. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Melody Brown said, all hail Professor Queen Amadai Shakur has returned to her throne to raise our positive vibrations with her fire, spiritual, and positive energy teachings and insights. Thank you, beloved. You said a mouthful. Okay, here we go. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay. 10 steps to developing your inner peace and tranquility to rise into a state of Zen. Okay, this is what we're talking about today. What is the secret to happiness and spiritual expansion? These 10 steps help us develop an inner state of balance and tranquility. Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. Now, Mufasa explained to his young cub Simba in the Disney movie, The Lion King, he said, in the past, our ancestors, or they say, he said, everything you see exists together in delicate balance. And also, we have to remember that in the past, our ancestors lived according to that same equilibrium. Now, many of us have lost touch with our true selves and the delicate balance with nature. That's why I'm always telling you to go out and interact with nature. You know, go out and gaze at the sun, walk along a lake, smell the flowers, listen to the birds sing. I always tell you those things. Hug trees, ground yourself, take off your shoes and socks and walk through the park or through your yard, right? You're getting in tune with nature, and that's automatically going to lift the vibrations. And when you go against the way of nature, you see, you swim against the current, and that's when you're going to struggle. You're going to have to fight, and sometimes eventually you drown. Now, what if you simply just laid back and allowed yourself to float? Then you flow effortlessly with the currents in a peaceful state of Zen. And so step 1, the first step to returning to your peace and tranquility and rising into a state of Zen is returning to self. Your path to Zen starts by going inward. It means to reestablish your connection with your true self, the divine source that flows through each of us. You begin to look beyond the veil of illusion and open yourself to spiritual bliss. This journey back to self takes some time. And I was talking to you all yesterday, telling you how sometimes the things we want, the goals we set, and things we want to focus on in life, it doesn't come right away. You have to have patience. And just because you fail doesn't mean that you should give up. You just keep trying until you get the accomplished goal that you want. Now, this journey back to self takes time. But like every journey, it begins with one small step forward. You recognize that you seek something bigger. You open your heart to love. You feel ready to listen to the voice guiding you from within, calling you to Zen. Now, step 2, that's when you become comfortable in the stillness. You can listen to guided meditations. Now, I have a friend who's a holistic doctor, and I told you all about her before. She makes different solutions for different healing things out of herbs and stuff. She makes her own herbal teas, but she also does guided meditations. Now, when I go to her for my treatments, like when I go to have acupuncture, so that she can unblock any of my chakras, or align my chakras, and so the energy is flowing freely through my body. When she's doing these things, she'll often play meditative music, but sometimes she plays guided meditations that she records herself. And she usually does these when she's at Stone Mountain Park by the water. And it's very peaceful and relaxing. So you can listen to guided meditations. Practice breath work, right? Exercises and or remember to breathe. Go on walking meditations. I do that. There's a lake very close to where I live, and I like to go walking along the lake and just practice my breathing. You can spend time with nature. That's one thing we just talked about. Release your thoughts with daily journaling. And so sometimes, and I even mentioned this before to you a couple of days ago, I told you that write down your goals, write down your dreams, things that you want to do, things you want to accomplish. Write them down. If you have a prophetic dream, write down your dreams. Keep a dream journal. That's what I do, because I have prophetic dreams a lot. And sometimes you may have a prophetic dream and don't realize that's what it is until it actually happens. Now, usually our prophetic dreams come to us between the hours of 2 a.m. in the morning, or between 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. And that's if you're going to sleep at night. Now, some of you all stay up all night, so clearly you'll be awake at 2 to 7, or be somewhere within those hours. But if you're going to rest, if you're going to bed at a regular hour, like, 9, 10, 11, you'll usually be in a deep state of sleep between the hours of 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. That is usually when most people are in their state of REM, which is rapid eye movement. That's when you're in deepest state of sleep. So that's when you're likely to have these prophetic dreams. And if you do have these dreams, you can write them down, keep a journal, okay? Journal, put the things that go on in your daily life, write those things in a journal. Every time you meet a goal that you set, because you should start with small goals, short-term goals, okay? Short-term goals, and every time you accomplish one, write that down, okay? Practice mindfulness meditation. So basically, rather than just meditating to relax and to raise your vibration, when you meditate, it's often good to just focus on the things you want to manifest. To use visualization, the practice of visualization, to envision yourself in the state or in the situation where you want to be. The things that you want. Envision yourself already having those things. Practice mindfulness meditation. Step 3, cultivate the sacred in your life. Now, cultivating the sacred means consistent effort to build a relationship with the divine. I'm always telling you that we have to be consistent. Anything that you're doing and you're trying to, better your situation, you're trying to accomplish things, you have to be consistent. For example, if you're going to the gym, you need to be working out at least 3 to 4 days a week to start seeing rapid results, to start seeing your work, seeing the results of your work. You have to be consistent. You can't go work out today and then you don't go back for another 4 or 5 days. That's not staying consistent, and that's only going to make it harder for you to get to the goal that you set. Now, creating the sacred in your life can mean daily rituals that help connect to your highest self. It may mean setting aside time for prayer or meditation. It can mean dedicating a full month of the year to the sacred. Everyone's path to the sacred will look different because we all think differently, and we all have different things that we want to accomplish. So there's going to be, and we also have different struggles that ensue, and we have different obstacles that get in our way. So there's going to be a different path for each of us to take. Think of the path to the sacred like a mountain with many trails that lead upward to that same point at the top. Your path to the pinnacle probably won't look the same as the next person. But the trick is to find those rituals that bring you higher and to continue to practice those sacred steps as you ascend. And speaking of rituals, I have told you all numerous of times how I do full moon rituals. Whenever there's a full moon, I perform a full moon ritual, and I sit outside under the light of the moon, and I absorb the energy from the moon. Very powerful energy, and it heightens your vibrational frequency and helps you to rise into a deeper state of consciousness. You can also use it to manifest. Anytime there's a full moon, the new moon's coming, all of that, it is very good to practice your manifestations during those times because it is in the perfect energy and alignment for you to be more in tune with the Most High in the universe. Step 5, create a sacred living space. You can position furniture, like your sofas and bed, to face entrances and doorways, to open your life to opportunity and abundance. Like when in China, they talk about feng shui, right? You can also use different colors that make you feel high vibrational. Like bright colors make me feel good. Like bright blues, greens, yellow, orange, those type of colors. That's just what I like. Create an inspirational living space full of art and photographs. Now, that's another thing. I love art. I like to have different types of abstract art, African paintings and things like that. Just whatever you like. Consciously choose colors and materials that evoke a certain mood. Choose calming blues in rooms for quiet reflection, or uplifting oranges and yellows in social spaces. Now use the 5 elements, earth, wind, fire, metal, and wood, to infuse their properties in the living space. If you lack stability, earth materials like wood, those would help you feel more grounded. And another thing is plants. I have lots of plants in my house. I love plants. They affect the energy and the mood of a living space because they're living things. And you can raise your vibration from being around plants. Plants come from nature. Okay. And so it's very important, if you have plants, to make sure that you also speak to them, because plants absolutely are affected by us talking to them. It helps them to grow and thrive. Now, when you feel unorganized, add metal elements to inspire clarity and precision. When you feel uninspired, add candles and incense to spark passion. I burn candles and incense every night before I go to sleep. I absolutely love to. Also, create a shrine or altar in your home where you can touch base with the divine and your ancestors. Now, that's another thing that I do. I have an altar, and I have my stones and crystals. I have my sage. I have different types of herbs that I like to use, frankincense, myrrh, just different things that I like, different herbs I like to use. And I have incense and sage and all of that. And my native feathers, Native American feathers that I use when I do my smudging rituals. Sometimes I use a turkey feather. That's what my native ancestors use, the indigenous people of this land. And so you can have an altar. Okay? Now, and I also pray at the altar, and sometimes I meditate at the altar. And when I want to commune with my ancestors, I do that at the altar. I also sometimes place pictures of my ancestors, like my grandmother, my grandfather, relatives who have passed on. I often put pictures of them on the altar when I want to commune with them. Okay. And ask them to guide me. Remember, the ancestors are our spirit guides. They're just one of our spirit guides. We have many. Now, design a sacred space for meditation, yoga, journaling, reading, or relaxing. Choose colors, fabrics, essential oils, and incense that bring a sense of calm. Now, I love essential oils. That's what I wear. I don't really put on perfume a lot. I more so put on different scents and different scents of essential oils. Also, I make herbal soap, and I use essential oils for that as well. Number 6, the 6th step is turn self-care into sacred care. Okay? Turn self-care into sacred care. Self-care means any activity to deliberately care for your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical health. At its most basic, self-care is about self-respect. It means caring for yourself and declaring to yourself and to the world that you are worthy. Sacred self-care ideas consist of things like you can book a nature spa treatment. Some people just like to go to the spa and just relax, get a massage, go into the steam room, go and meditate. Sometimes you want to be in a room with others and you can all meditate together. Like if you go on one of those retreats, you can soak in a long hot tub or a hot spring. Treat yourself to healthy, delicious foods, right? Take breaks and give yourself time to rest. Always remember to rest. It's very important that you get the proper rest. When you make these consistent efforts, you work toward becoming the best person that you can be. You show up in the world embodied in your power. You create an energy of healing. Healing of the self leads to healing of humanity, healing of nature, healing of Mother Earth, healing of the universe. Step number 7 is live consciously, live intentionally, live mindfully. Living the Zen way means living consciously. Through awareness, you reconnect with your true self and develop an inner state of balance with nature. And here are some different ways you can live consciously. Practice mindful awareness. That would include meditation, visualization, right? Journaling. Breathe deeply and consciously to allow the prana life force to flow through you fully. It's very important that you practice your breathing. Okay? Very important that you practice and learn to control your breathing. Respond rather than react. Don't let people take you off your square. Don't let people who know your triggers trigger you. Some people love to push our buttons, and they do this because they want to lower your vibration. Some of these people suck the energy out of us because they give us all of their problems and issues to solve when they need to try to solve these things themselves. They drain you of energy, leaving you to feel depleted and tired, lethargic. Those people are energy vampires. Some people are just negative and they're always saying negative things, being pessimistic. Those people too are energy vampires. Don't allow them to deplete you of your energy. Respond rather than react. Because here's the reason. When you respond, you think about what you're going to say before you say it. When you react, you can just blurt out anything. And usually, when we just react out of impulse, usually we're led by our emotions. And as I told you numerous of times, if you cannot rise above your emotions, that is a recipe for disaster. Because if we're led by our emotions, we are being led by our ego. Just caught up in I, not thinking about the other person or even the consequences of what we say or do. Silent D says, just like your body is a temple, so is your spirit. Absolutely, beloved. Absolutely. Thank you for your insight and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Now, Through mindfulness, you learn to pause when you feel emotions or thoughts come up. And that's the way you learn to rise above your emotions also. And notice your experience. Feel that moment. Then respond calmly. Now, have you ever seen people who, if someone makes them upset, they start counting to 10, trying to calm themselves down? That's a smart thing to do, because you want to always think before you speak and look before you leap. And so if you are upset, don't just blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. Take a moment to gather yourself, to gather your thoughts, and then say what you want to say. Because it's not even always what you say so much as it's the way you say it. Now, practice mindful consumption. Turn a meal into meditation. When you cook, notice the sensations and appreciate the path of the food from the farm to the kitchen. I know you don't live on farms, but I'm talking about for those of you meat eaters, you picture life on the farm, how the people who harvest and grow our food, or how the people who raise these animals that some of you eat, right? You can start to take that, not take it for granted, right? You're more grateful. You have an attitude of gratitude. Okay, then you can savor every bite. Feel gratitude for this life energy that sacrifices so that you can survive. That's mainly for the meat eaters. Now, if we talk about plants, fruits, and vegetables, well, those two are living things. We know that, right? But they're far different from the animals. And here's the thing. You have to realize also, you know how they say we are what we eat? For those of you who eat pork, you need to stop. You really need to stop. If you're eating pork in 2022, shame on you, because you are what you eat. So the energy from these animals that people consume, you take on the energy of that animal. Now, for those of you who eat pork, I can only imagine what type of energy you have. It has to be somewhat low vibrational. It just has to be. Now, I know you may try to be high vibrational, and sometimes you likely are, but at the end of the day, pork totally lowers your vibration. Okay, meat in general, but specifically pork and red meat. Pork more so than anything that I can think of. Okay, Claudette says, I don't eat pork. Well, good, beloved. Absolutely good. The best diet is a plant-based diet. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice, but the best diet is a plant-based diet. Okay, people think they don't get enough protein if they eat a vegan diet, but absolutely you do, because plants, fruits and vegetables have plant protein. It's far different than meat and animal protein, because plant protein is healthier on the organs, it's easier to digest, and also it doesn't calcify the pineal gland. You see, when you're eating pork and all these foods full of GMOs and red meat and all of that stuff, you're calcifying. Also, if you consume a lot of dairy, you're calcifying your pineal gland. Now, look for ways to apply mindfulness to all areas of your life. That's very important. Step 8, practice rituals and ceremonies. Rituals and ceremonies are a set of actions meant to produce a desired outcome. Humans have practiced rituals well before recorded history to connect with the gods and goddesses, to celebrate life and love, even to make it rain. Now, did you all know that? Because our native ancestors, the people indigenous to this land, many of our ancestors, some of you may not be from here, but for those of us who are from America, which was formerly known as Turtle Island, and we had the indigenous melanated natives, the black natives, right? The indigenous people. Well, they would get together and they would do a rain dance. Okay? They would do a rain dance, and they would put their energies together. They would all be on one accord, and they would do a ritual. And so, and also they do smudging rituals, which I still do those because the ancestors did, where you take the sage and you cleanse your living space, your area, your environment, and even yourself. Now, a ritual can be something traditional that you practice customarily in your culture or religion. Perhaps you designate the weekend as a time to rest on the Sabbath by lighting candles, feasting, or spending downtime with family. Look for ways to incorporate rituals into your life, familiar or foreign, particularly ones. They can be familiar or foreign, particularly ones that invite peace and zen. Now, that can mean a morning ritual, like a morning sahana, to set the tone for a peaceful day. Perhaps you set aside a weekend each month of yoga, health, or for yoga. That should have been, excuse me, that should have been for yoga, health, and self-care. Okay, create Zen rituals in your life. Now, if you're not practicing yoga, that's okay. You don't have to. But at the end of the day, if you're just doing regular exercises, Pilates, if you're doing stretches and things like that in the morning when you rise, that's good. But one of the main rituals you should be doing in the morning are saying those positive affirmations, because the way you set the tone for your day, when you rise in the morning, you should always be saying your positive affirmations. You can say them while you're brushing your teeth, while you're taking your shower, just while you're getting ready for work, or however you get, whatever you have to do to start your day. You should be saying those affirmations, because you're setting the tone for your day. However you start the morning, that's usually sets the tone for the rest of your day. That's why people say, oh, you must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Because if people get up in a bad mood, they tend to be in a bad mood for the rest of the day. Okay, so that's very important. Create Zen rituals in your life. When you do, you set your intention and invite peace and tranquility. Step 9, connect to your tribe or go on a spiritual retreat. Now, in Buddhism, the word Sangha means bring together. It is a community of friends practicing spiritual growth together. So that would be something like, me and 2 of my friends, sometimes we meditate together. Okay? Sometimes we meditate together. We could do it in person, or we can do it in a Zoom call, right? You can do it over the phone. You don't have to be right there physically where the person is. And then sometimes once every year, at least once a year, I try to get myself involved in a universal meditation. They have people that hold these over the internet a few times a year. And I try to do it at least once, involve myself in a universal meditation. I don't know these people. They don't know me. Many of us, we don't know each other. But what we all do know is that we're all trying to raise our levels of consciousness. We're all trying to get to a peaceful state of mind, a Zen state of mind. We're all trying to rise into our higher selves. We know that. So we're all on one accord. And this is people from all over the world, okay, of all races and ethnic groups that are involved in this. Now, the work of spiritual peace begins inward, but it shouldn't be done entirely alone. Immersed in a sacred space, in a soul-stirring landscape, you spend time with your tribe. Going on a retreat is a chance to be your authentic self, free your mind. You can connect with others who can support you along your journey to inner peace and Zen. And step 10, remember the way to get started is to quit talking and start doing. Put action to your words and create the electromagnetic frequency that sets you on your divine path to spiritual enlightenment. Ask your ancestors to guide and strengthen you. Ask the Most High to help you elevate your consciousness so you can rise into your higher self, your godlike self. And lastly, be willing to do the work. Be willing to do the work, beloveds. And I stole that from Ayala Van Zant. Do the work. I love when she says that. She's absolutely right. Because some people don't want to do the work. They want everything to just be given and handed to them. They want all of the work to be done by others and they reap the rewards. They don't want to put forth the effort. They don't want to go through the struggles and the pains and the failures before they win. They just want to win. But before you win, You may suffer many losses, and that's okay. You may fail before you succeed, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, it is not the fact that you failed or that you lost. It is that you picked yourself up, dusted yourself off, and you tried again until you succeeded and you reached the goal that you had set for yourself, until you have accomplished your dreams. Okay? Until you have accomplished your dreams. So with that all being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope that I helped someone today. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Very important to like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that others hear these messages. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at QueenAShakur. You can also follow the QueenAShakur fan page, and you can follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Excuse me. And I hope that you all have a blessed and beautiful rest of your day. Remember to stay high vibrational. Rise into your godlike self. Stay positive. Do your affirmations. Always try to speak life, not only upon yourself, but especially and specifically upon your children or grandchildren, your spouse. Some of the most harshest things that we say them to the people that we love the most. You get angry and curse out your children, curse out your spouse, your family members, friends. When we get angry, sometimes we lash out at those who love us the most, because many of us are not going to go to work, honey, and cuss out your boss, even though you may not be able to stand your boss. Your boss may antagonize you, micromanage you. You may not like him. But at the end of the day, what you're not going to do if you want your job is go to work and go off of your boss, right? So often we hold things inside. When we're having a bad day at work, we might keep all of that inside. And then we get home, and the first person who says something that annoys us or ticks us off, we let them have it. We dump all of that on them, okay? And that's not good. Why would you say such wicked, mean, hateful things or take out your anger and frustrations on the very people you love the most and the people who love you the most? So always be mindful of that and think about what you're going to say before you say it, all right? And speak life and positivity upon people that you love and care about, upon anyone that you can. It doesn't have to be people that you love and care about. It could be someone, a stranger. You may just want to make someone feel good. Just tell someone something nice sometimes. That too lifts your vibrations. Sometimes I just tell people nice things. I just give people compliments, right? People that I don't even know. I may just see something that I like about them, and I'll just give them a compliment, because that makes people feel good. You don't know what kind of day someone's having. Someone could have been going through something, could have been depressed, just feeling down and out. And you could say something that would just lift their spirits. And that's what you do when you inspire people. It comes from within. You're giving of your own spirit. And so you inspire someone else. So with that all being said, I love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. And be the change that you want to see. Remember, everything you want is right outside your comfort zone. Until next time, beloveds, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.